Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends what time you're watching this video. So we'll try and talk about very basic things about forex cards today, and this would include typically what are the best forex cards available at this point of time, which are the ones which typically have a zero markup, and which I use also. The third, of course, is that why should you actually carry a forex card? What does it help you? That's something which is there. We'll quickly touch upon also what is this 20% TCS rule, which seems to be bothering all of us, and of course, largely. We'll also try and compare the multi-currency forex card which a lot of these banks issues. So first thing first, of course, is that why do you forex card? So this is what a small chart that we have prepared. So largely there are a few elements which keeps on bothering us when you go and travel abroad. One, of course, is that there are issue of forex markup fee that happens when you use your credit card using foreign transaction. The second, of course, is that you have an issue of uploading multiple currencies, because if you, in case you're traveling to 3-4 cities, that something might come handy. The other, of course, is the ATM withdrawal, and the fourth, of course, is that there are a lot of times we really don't get the OTP which is required in order to get the transaction done. So largely a forex card helps you in all these problems. Of course, you try and get currency, you try and get cards which are typically have a zero markup. Then you have an easy uploading of various currencies with a click of a button, and of course there is typically a low fee of ATM withdrawal depending upon which card you are buying, and of course is that OTP you really don't have too much of a problem. Now quickly touching upon what's happening with the TCS thing. So it has been earlier said that there will be a 20% TCS charge and blah blah and all that, but then as on 20th June it has been declared that overseas spending using credit cards not to attract TCS. This is what is there, which you get to see on your screen. So you can be rest assured that this problem is not there, at least for the time being. And actually, if you really ask me, this was really a stupid thing to think of also. That's the first thing first. Now, while there will be a lot of videos which are floating around about Neo Global Card, I have used a Neo Global Card, FD card. The problem which lies there, of course, is that your money is blocked. So essentially what it means is that you have you open up a card using a minimum 5,000 FD. From there, what will happen is that you will have to go ahead and keep on adding to your balance, because that's a FD based credit card, which means that suppose even if you have made a 5,000 rupee FD, you get to spend 5,000. That's there. But in order to release that so-called credit limit of yours, you have to again pay 5,000 to release, which means an X amount of money, in this case, which is 5,000, always remains stuck in your Neo Global FD card. So I find that's really not great. So that's where it is, and that brings to the card which I typically end up using, and I've seen a lot of my students also using, and that's the the Book My Forex card. So Book My Forex card is what I have been using for some time, and I have a lot of my students who are traveling abroad and who are studying abroad currently have been using, and I keep on traveling. By the way, there is dedicated videos of Bali and series which is on. If you find something, please go and see them. That's number one. And number two, we have a dedicated Telegram channel now where we are floating offers once in a while. When we see good offers, we don't spam every day. So that's something perhaps you can join. I have left the link for both of them in the description below. So largely, yes, Book My Forex card is really good for typically students and travelers and all across. So largely, why are we saying this? Because of course it is a multiple currency card. You can load 14 currency, as many as 14 currencies, which should kind of cover as many possible, and the exchange rates are good. There are fixed exchange rate, there is a zero issuance charge, there's a virtual expense tracking, there is a same day delivery. It doesn't happen same day. It typically takes 2 to 3 days. Honestly, that's what I've seen. So that's one of the problem. Number one, that's you need to keep in mind. And they keep on giving some offer or the other. Right now, as you see on the screen, there are some travel card. They get some off and get a 20% discount and additional SIM card and blah blah and all that, which is that's about okay. Now that's something which is there, but then you also should know the schedule of charges. Yes, there is no issuance fee. That's number one. There is no reload fee. There is no refund fee, but there is a cross currency markup of 3,500 value. 3,500 of the transactional value that you have to keep in mind. That's something which you have to keep very closely also on your head. Is there are various ATM charges that you have to keep in mind, and these are depending upon where, what and all that. So I'll leave a description, a link on the description also, so you can get to see what is there. So that will also help, or you can pause the screen and see this as well. So that's something which you have to keep in mind while applying for this card. So that's number two. The other, of course, is that I've been comparing this card with some other cards also, and it's actually yes, this is of course what I'm seeing on their screen, which is given by them, but largely this is more or less true. So it is like this. So you have comparison between a Book My Forex, an HDFC card, a Thomas Cook card, an ICICI card, and of course there are same day currency exchange, blah blah, and all that, issuance fee and all that. The only markup problem is, of course, is that HDFC card has a problem of issuance charges, which is $500. Let's understand, if you and I are student, every money counts. Then you have an issuance charge as applicable of Thomas Cook as well as ICICI card. Again, the same day delivery, although Book My Forex says they do it, but I have faced problem. Largely, it happens in large cities. Again, one more problem also that you have to keep in mind is that they're limited to 25 odd cities as well. So that's something which also you need to keep in mind. So that's these are small niggles. Watch what you get to see. Needless to say, when you offer a card which is like Book My Forex. So that's something which is there. Now I was actually also comparing some other cards also which are there available at this point of time, which is multi-currency forex cards. So I have compared an HDFC Regalia, an HDFC Bank multi-currency platinum forex chip card. You have an IndusInd Bank multi-currency travel card. You have an ICICI Bank Sephora card. Let's look at the fees. Of course, Book My Forex takes the cake because there's zero joining fee. HDFC has 1,000 for the Regalia one and 500 for the platinum one, the multi-currency platinum one, whereas IndusInd has a $300 and ICICI has close to around $3,000. I'm not getting into the welcome benefit and blah blah and all that. That's really not important. What you need to understand, of course, is understand the foreign currency element. Now, of course, this bracket helps us understand where we stand. Please read very carefully when you are dealing and finally buying with this. There are cross-currency markup charges. While there is no markup fee, which that's technically I have chosen all zero markup fee, but there are cross-currency markup charges which are there, which you also need to keep in mind. So that's what you have to bear in mind while opting for a card. So I've left some of the links in description. If you would like, you can go ahead and see them, and that's how it is. And look into the Bali videos. We've done it very hopefully you will like them. That's something which is there. And of course, let's connect on the Telegram channel as well. And hope to see you soon.